Regular viewers of my channel will know that I have flown with British Airways in the past, but I've tried their Boeing 777 and now retired 767 aircraft. I've yet to fly on board one of their short-haul Airbus aircraft in Europe. Well, that changes today as I'm here in Amsterdam about to hop on board a flight to London, and no, it's not Heathrow. BA also fly to Gatwick. Why not join me for this flight on the Airbus A319? Welcome to Blake Edgington Airborne. Let's get going. British Airways use departures Zone 3 at Schiphol, and as with the rest of the airport, it's a very large area, so make sure to use departure boards to locate the check-in desks. Schiphol is an absolutely massive airport, and I recommend arriving early for your flight to explore as much as possible. The range of shops and restaurants is extensive, and despite the number of passengers travelling through the terminal, it has a good amount of space and natural light, so it never feels too crowded. Sadly, time was against me on this trip, but to see more of the airport, be sure to check out my KLM review from 2018 via the link in the description. Now, in the 2018 Airborne Awards, Amsterdam Schiphol Airport won Best Airport, and it's still fantastic. I love my time here, but it's been cut a bit short today due to a very tight connection. Really need to get a rush now and head to the aircraft. Come with me.
I'll leave you now in the care of the cabin crew. Thank you for boarding so promptly. A little point for me on safety. If you are seated, please make sure that your seatbelts are securely fastened. Please enjoy your flight with us. Thank you.
Now, of course, when many people think of British Airways, thoughts automatically go towards their long-haul aircraft, such as the Boeing 747. But the airline actually operates over 100 Airbus A320 family aircraft. These include 42 of the A319s that are on board today. This particular aircraft originally operated for the airline BMI before joining the British Airways fleet in 2012. These aircraft operate mostly domestic and European routes from London, and Amsterdam is a very popular destination for the airline. BA fly from Amsterdam to Heathrow, Gatwick and London City Airport, with very good value fares depending on the date and time of travel. My flight, for example, cost just £25, which is a fantastic price for a national airline, although prices can vary quite dramatically. There are 144 seats on this aircraft, with 3 seats either side of the aisle. The cabin design is not the most modern that you'll find, but reading lights and air vents are provided for all passengers, and the windows are large enough to enjoy the views while filming. Unlike some other national airlines, BA no longer offer free food and drink to economy class passengers. Instead, the airline offers a buy on board selection from M&S, which has a good range and includes the wonderful Percy pigs for those with a sweet tooth. Do be aware that payment can only be made on board via card or using Avios, which in my opinion isn't a great way to spend your hard-earned points. So far, a very enjoyable flight with British Airways. Now let's take a moment to look around the seat area and see what you'd find if you took the BA A319. When choosing the cheapest economy basic fare class, seat selection is chargeable when booking. Higher classes of fare include free seat selection from 48 hours before departure, and the prices for seats vary, with the more expensive choices generally near the front of the aircraft or on the exit rows, which feature extra legroom. No matter what seat you choose, the features are pretty much the same, and you'll find a coat hook at the top of the seat, which is useful when locker space is hard to come by. The tray table is fairly generously sized. There's plenty of space on here if you choose any items from the in-flight menu, and of course there is space to keep your drink secure. You'll also find that the tray table can be brought closer to you, which of course is helpful for smaller passengers. The seat pocket contains quite a lot of literature, including your safety card and a number of BA magazines, which we'll look at in a moment, but it does mean that most of the storage space is already filled before you add your own items. The legroom, well, it wasn't too bad at all. This is a bit of a different style of seat to many European airlines, but it provided a really comfortable experience overall. And now to show you what exactly was in that rather full literature pocket. As mentioned, you of course have your safety card, the M&S onboard menu which we looked at earlier, the British Airways Business Life magazine for the hard-working executive, the BA High Life magazine with articles on travel and the airline, and finally the in-flight gift selection. Sadly, there was simply too much to get through on such a short journey, but I did manage to check out the route maps and try and come up with ideas for long-haul flight reviews that I'd like to experience. If you have any suggestions, do let me know in the comment section below. I also like the information provided to passengers about how to reach London from the airports which BA serve. As well as sharing my flying experiences with you here on YouTube, I do also have social media accounts and I update these as I travel. So to keep up to date the latest information on my journeys and channel news, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So after that very quick trip across from Amsterdam, we're now commencing our final descent towards London's Gatwick Airport. Don't forget to stick around at the end of the flight for my final thoughts, but for now, enjoy the landing. So here we are, welcome to London Gatwick South Terminal, the home of British Airways here at Gatwick Airport. This is the part of the video I'll share with you my final thoughts on today's journey. Starting off in Amsterdam, as I said earlier, I'm a very big fan of Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. There's so much to see and do. There's so many shops and restaurants. There's even small museums and galleries. You could spend a day there if you had the time. The flight British Airways, well, this was my first time flying on a standard British Airways European flight in a narrow body aircraft, and I really enjoyed it. Now, the aircraft itself, yes, it was showing its age in some places. The cabin was quite dark and an older design of seat, but the seats were very comfortable, more comfortable than anticipated. It is also a shame that you don't get free food and drink on board a national carrier, and that's the case with many national airlines nowadays, but I would say that the selection from the Marks & Spencer range is very impressive and not too bad value for money. And speaking of value for money, this flight today was absolutely fantastic value. Finally, I'd like to give a mention to the crew. Now, I've said before that the British Airways crew are some of my favourites, and again today they were fantastic, very welcoming and friendly, asking questions about what I was doing in a polite way. They were just genuinely interested, and that was nice to see. So overall, would I fly British Airways on a European route? Yes, I absolutely would. They're not the most convenient for me living in Birmingham, but certainly if I had the opportunity, I wouldn't hesitate. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please do leave me some feedback in the comments section below. Let me know what you thought of British Airways if you've flown them before. Also, do hit that thumbs up button, and most of all, please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Only with your support can this channel continue to grow. Of course, as always, take care.